you're not at home, Anthony. You are currently in Denver.
I am in Denver. I'm finishing up this last little bit of what we're gonna call a training camp, and we're gonna go do this thing.
Yeah, so last week I commentated the fights, and as you know, we do the fighter meetings. And I'm on there and I'm talking to Zach. For anyone that doesn't know, he's a vice president, one of the heads of production. And I'm asking him questions about, what's going on with 303 and all the rest of it. And he's like, put it like this. He mentioned a couple of things, but he's like, I can't go into too much detail. He said, have your notifications on your phone today, right? Because that was the day that Dana announced and made all the changes and all the rest of it. He did not allude in one little way that on that announcement, it was going to say Anthony Smith versus Carlos Ulberg. And I thought, you bastard, Anthony.
He might not have known. It wasn't even good. It wasn't even good until that night. Like right before he announced it. Right before he announced it is when we got it done.
So talk me through it, obviously.
So I've been training anyways. When Jamahal was hurt, he was in Omaha training with me. So I never stopped training after I fought in Brazil. I was doing the strength and conditioning, and I really was just doing it because I got so sick of getting so out of shape and so heavy, and then a fight pops up, and then it takes me 2 or 3 weeks or whatever to get in shape. Of
the pre-camp.
Yeah, I'm doing an 8-week training camp, but 4 of it is dying because I'm out of shape. I'm at altitude. The whole team's beating the shit out of me. I'm not hanging because I'm heavy. And I just I'm done with it. I'm done getting out of shape. So I'm just going to stay in shape and then I'll have to get ready. So that was kind of the mindset. Well, then Jamahal was fighting Carlos Ulberg. And so we've always kind of trained together. So he came to Omaha, Danny went to Vegas. So we were just kind of, training together, and I was in really good shape. We were sparring, 5 rounds in a row together, and they were super high paced. I mean, they were really competitive rounds. Like we were in there getting after it. And, then I don't want to tell his business too much, but he was battling through some stuff. And the last couple of days, he was
physically or mentally?
Yeah, physically. Yeah. He was really struggling the last couple of days. And it wasn't just the knee. It's really the only one they're talking about, but he has some other things that are really lingering and bothering him a lot. So the last couple of days were rough. Oh yeah, that's the fluid they took off of that cyst. Ugh, it's gross. Yeah. But he was in a lot of pain and he was struggling. So we spent Saturday. We spent Saturday out at my uncle's farm, rode razors, hung out. He flew home Sunday and then got the imaging done on Monday and called, that he called me, and it was him, his manager, his coaches, and we just kind of talked about it. And he wasn't able to do it. He just couldn't, not at the highest level where he could be successful. And so I just thought that was it. Okay, cool. He's got a pull. It's not a big deal. Well, then they called me and they were like, we heard you've been training with Jamahal. Are you in shape? How's your weight? Are you interested? And so I kind of just thought about it, Mike. And I did say on here to you, no more short notice fights, but
you did.
I don't really look at this.
And you were very convincing.
Yeah, I don't really look at this as a short notice fight, though. Like, if I take, because we're on this journey where we're not worried about the title, we're not worried about all the bullshit. We're taking one at a time, and we're just going to do it like that. So then I just put this fight in its own little box. And I just thought, well, why wouldn't I take it? I'm in good shape. I've already been thinking about Carlos Ulberg for like 4 weeks. Like, in terms of how do I help Jamahal, and my whole team in Omaha is Carlos Ulberg geared already. So like they've already watched the film. They've already come up with game plans. They've already seen where he's good, where he's not, where he could be exploited. We just flip that to me now instead of Jamahal. So I just kind of put it in its own box and said, well, why wouldn't I? I'm in shape. My weight's low. I'm healthy. I'm not banged up, and I don't have the brain stress of being in a training camp for the last 4 or 5 weeks because I've been training like I am in camp, but I haven't been stressed out about it. I'm not laying in bed thinking about Carlos Ulberg for 5 weeks.
Enjoying the process.
Yeah. I've just been hanging out training. It's been fun. Yeah. And so I was like, yeah, let's do it. Cause I'm like, before the Khalil fight was different. That was very much, could I win? Yes. But it was more like hoping that we could put ourselves in a position to win with the expectation that if I win, then that puts me in a better spot with the title. So I was taking a big risk, hoping to get a big reward. I'm not really taking a risk here because I don't feel like there's a lot on the line. Like I want to go in and I want to compete and I want to battle it out and I want to put in a performance I can be proud of and really go in there and just be the best me I can be. But there's no like, I'm not hanging this title thing over my head. I just want to go out there and have fun and I just want to fight and I want to go out there and win. And I don't know. I just couldn't find a reason not to. I'm just in a really good place. Well,
you know, when you look at it on paper, I mean, number one, you do look very lean. You look in shape, you know, so you clearly have been training. It's nothing but positives, to be honest. I mean, you fought, when was it? Not too long ago. What, 2 months now? Maybe less? May.
Let me think here. May 1st. May 1st, yeah. Yeah,
so you fought May 1st, right? So you just fought then. You got paid then. Let's remember, this is why we do it. I know you get paid pretty handsomely as well. You know what I'm saying? So you get another payday. You get to go out there. You get to fight. You've already been kind of mentally prepping for Carlos Ulberg. I mean, that's huge in itself. If you're just replicating his style, you know. Yeah. That means you got to analyze it.
I've already looked at him. I've already watched him and trying to do what he does.
Already halfway there. I mean, that's perfect. When you look at it on paper, I mean, listen, he's a really, really good striker, you know, let's be honest, but it's not like you can't strike either. But I think when it comes to mixed martial arts, I think if you can get him down to the ground, I think there's a very good possibility of it being a quick finish for you. Of course, it ain't going to be easy. He trains in Vizzy. You know how to stop takedowns. He's good. You're not going to rush at him like, oh, man, what was his last name? What was his
Metafield.
Yeah, Alonzo. You're not going to do an Alonzo Menafield.
No. I think a full mixed martial arts fight is how you win this one. It's not. Yeah. I'm not going to go out there and stand in front of him because that's stupid. That's where he's best, especially when he gets swagging and he starts feeling himself. He feels good. He gets to his spots. He does mirror Izzy in a lot of ways. The way that they defend, they lean back. They both counter really well. But I think you make it a full mixed martial arts fight and make him worry about the wrestling, the clinch, the grappling, and I got the gas to do that. We can fight everywhere, and I'm going to force him to do that. And I'm confident that over 15 minutes he's not going to be able to stay ahead. The first round, I think he'll be really, really tough. I think he'll defend takedowns well. I think he'll manage the range really well. I think you just keep chipping away at him, and I think we'll get him out of there. But I feel really good about it.
That's the perfect game plan. And it's great to hear that because you're right. I mean, listen, could you compete on the feet? This is essentially what I said on Thursday's show. Can you compete on the feet? Of course you can. You know, is that the smartest way to victory? Absolutely not. You're playing his game. He's a kickboxer that has come over to mixed martial arts. You use your skill set. You know, you check your ego to one side. Yeah. But the big picture in terms of you and your family, your career, I mean, you go out there, you get paid again. You get to compete in the sport that you love. You raise your profile. It's a huge card. It's International Fight Week. And let's not forget that Alex Pereira is the main event. You go out there, you get the job done. You're taking down dream scenario, bam, bam, double leg. You get on top, Kimura, rear naked choke, whatever the case may be. You get on the microphone. You shout out the Believe in Me podcast. Then, I'm joking. And then you say, hey, Pereira, good luck in your fight. You get the job done. I'm here. I'm next. Look at that shit. This is what I'll do to you. You haven't fought a grappler yet. I'm not I don't know. Finish the sentence for me, Anthony. This is your post-fight
I'm not an idiot, and I'm not going to stand in front of you and play that game. This is mixed martial arts, and we're gonna have a full fight. That's what we're going to do.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really thinking about that, but
think about it.
Yeah, but I'm just worried. I'm just worried about Carlos Ulberg.
Of course,
he's a tall task. He's really good at what he does. He's young. He's hungry. He's got a big opportunity in front of him. And I got to remember that when these guys fight me, I'm their world title fight. And they're trying to make a name off of me. And I got to make sure that doesn't happen. And I think he's got an incredible skill set on his feet. But I'm going to test him everywhere else too.
No, for sure. Well, every single fight is the most important fight of your career. You know that, because the ramifications with wins and losses in terms of your career, etc. But if you allow yourself to dream, if you look at the bigger picture, then it kind of does all kind of map out perfectly. You had a couple of skids.
If I cut a promo on Alex Pereira right afterwards,
I mean, look at this. I was
up.
saying this on the show Saturday night where we had to hype up your fight a little bit. I say, look at this. You know, you have your ups and your downs. You've had 50 professional fights. You come in, you just beat Vitor Petrino. You come out here, you take out another hotly ranked guy on short notice. You get the respect of the world. You cut a promo with Alex Pereira. You two kind of have this kind of thing, competitiveness already. And then you fight Alex Pereira, who's now one of the biggest stars in the sport, and you win by rear naked choke. And not only do you get the championship, not only do you get your fight purse, but you say, yo, you owe me 50K, buddy.
And you owe me 50K. And you owe me 50K. I'm going to take that. I'll take that in cash.
Yeah. You know what? We're joking, of course. And Alex Pereira deserves a tremendous amount of respect. And I'm a huge fan of his. I really am. I mean, his attitude stepping up and taking these fights is what we like to see. It's what this game's all about.
What he's doing is crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
What he's done and what he's achieved is crazy. It really is.
I just can't believe that, you know, he's out on this tour in Australia, hanging out, letting his toes heal up. He was like, 2 weeks? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. I love that.
Do you think there's a little part of him that maybe thinks I was able to dispatch of Yuri? What was it? Second round, I believe.
Yeah.
Dispatched of Yuri in round 2. He didn't really, get beat up too much. So maybe there's a little false sense of security there.
That's possible. I also think it was probably very matchup specific. Like he wouldn't have probably taken this fight with Magomed or,
no.
And I'm not trying to hype myself, but probably not with me, just because it's a different skill set. He's already trained.
The headline.
He's already trained for Yuri one time before, so he's familiar with him. He's been in there with him, so he's more familiar with him. There's not the stress and the shock and awe of the unknown. So he already knows what he's getting himself into. He's felt him. He knows how strong he is. He knows how fast he is. He knows how hard he hits. He kind of knows which way he likes to move. And I think when you're a guy like Alex Pereira and you have the type of eraser power that he has, you're probably pretty confident going into any fight short notice. If you can conserve your energy and land one of those erasers, you can. It doesn't matter if you're losing 90% of the fight, as long as you manage your energy. He did it with Israel Adesanya. Super high-paced fight, deep into the 5th round, about to lose a decision, and was able to shut him off. So, I think when you have his type of skill set, you can get into these short-notice fights, especially versus Yuri, who's not a world champion wrestler. He's not a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He's going to be taking you down and De La Riva sweeping you. It's not his style. Yuri's very hittable. If we're just being honest, I'm sure Alex feels very confident that he can get in there and touch him. So I think it was a good move on his part too, because it raises his profile significantly, makes him look like he's an absolute killer, and he is. Like it's brave, yeah. It's very brave, but also you can do that while not being as unfamiliar and feeling as if that's as crazy as it actually is. So hats off to him. That's a big deal. It's a big risk. It's a big risk.
Oh, it's a big risk. Of course it is. But hey, it's always a risk anytime you step in there, fighting at this level. Lastly,
he does always seem to be training too, because you do, like, maybe not in camp training, but you see a lot of videos of him, even when he's traveling the world. He's in all these different rooms that every time you see one, it's a different place. So it seems like he does do a fair bit of training on the road.
No, he's a professional. He's a champion. Just lastly on your fight, Anthony, this is what, excuse me, pardon me, just devoured breakfast after.
Oh, did you?
I've got to say, an insane workout. I went for it hard at the gym this morning myself. Excuse me. I just devoured I told you, I said, can we start 10 minutes later? I just shakes and everything. Smashed it. Yeah, so it's coming up. Perillo always kept telling me this when I took my fight on 2 weeks' notice against Rockhold. He's like, Mike, it ain't about a 2-week training camp. It's about how you've lived your life. It's about all the fighting and training that you've done ever since you started on this path, so you've got all those skills that when did you start mixed martial arts? 15 years ago, 20 years ago,
end of 2006, beginning of 2007.
Right, 17 years ago, something like that, 18 years. You know, it's 18 years worth of training and experiencing and analyzing the sport and breaking down fighters, and 50 odd times you've stepped foot in the octagon. Yeah, about 2 weeks. It's about the journey. It's about you. So all the best, Anthony.
Thank you.
Super, super excited for you. It's a massive opportunity. And of course, we all wish you the best of luck, buddy. I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
Well, I was going to tell you.
I was like, this son of a bitch.
Yeah,
we don't even get a text.
I was going to tell you, but I didn't know if it was going to happen. Dana announced it before I had any idea that it was good to go, because Ulberg lives in New Zealand or whatever. So with the time change, they said they were going to reach out to him. I hadn't heard anything back. Dana announced it, and then Mick Maynard texted me and said, just so you know, we're good. Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. Nice. Well, anyway, congrats on that.